guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you are all doing well. Today I am coming with a little bit of a dilemma. Now, a subscriber of mine messaged me on Snapchat and she basically messaged me asking me for a bit of help. I forgot to screenshot the situation. I'll just paraphrase what it is she said. So she basically expressed that she liked a guy and she told the guy that she liked him, and the guy basically ended up turning around and saying basically the feelings were not mutual, and he specified that the cause for that was her weight, that she was too overweight. He wasn't attracted to her basically, and she wanted to basically know, how do I come back from that? How do I get my confidence back from that? Because as you can imagine, that really hurt her feelings. Now, I will be the first person to say that I can totally relate to this situation, but I just want to encourage her or anybody who's going through this similar situation or has been through a similar situation to know that, listen, you are beautiful regardless of his approval or not. If he doesn't want you, that's fine. Somebody else will want you. Somebody else will love you. Somebody else wants you really bad. It's not the end of the world. This is just one guy. But for me, I would say if I was in that situation, yes, I would be hurt. I would feel like, oh my gosh, I really like this guy, and the reason why he's telling me he doesn't like me, usually because your weight is already an insecurity of yours, so you'll be like, wow, the reason why he doesn't like me is my weight, and then all of a sudden you start to hate yourself a bit more. And my response is, my concern is that you don't hate yourself more. Like, do not hate yourself because somebody else doesn't like something about you. Fair enough. If you don't like it about you, then you can go on a healthy process of changing it. A very healthy, both mentally and physically, process to changing that thing that you dislike. Don't pay this guy any mind. Just try and forget about him. Get you somebody else who likes you, all of you, the way you are, or take time to now maybe lose weight if that's what you want to do. If you don't want to lose weight, go out here and find somebody who will love you for you, girl. Just make sure you're healthy. Make sure you're not risking your life. Just make sure that you are happy. Do not let this get you into a rut. You are still beautiful. This does not downgrade how much you are worth. At the end of the day, everything comes back down to your happiness and your self-esteem, and I don't want this to knock your self-esteem. That guy is gonna go off and find whoever is right for him. This guy just wasn't right for you. You don't want to be with somebody, or you don't want to long for somebody who doesn't want you, because God forbid, what if you do, and I'm gonna say God forbid on purpose, what if you end up with that person and that person spends your whole relationship just telling you how bad you are, just telling you that no one is going to want you, just telling you that they're the only person who's gonna love you, and even them loving you was a big step for them. You don't want that. You want somebody to be with you who adores you, who thinks that you are just amazing. Now, they don't think you are perfect, but they are in love with what you have. They are in love with what is there. Now, there is no problem with wanting to change. There is no problem with having preferences. There is no problem with having just who you feel naturally attracted to. I definitely understand that everybody has preferences. For instance, with me, I like tall guys because I'm tall. I like tall guys. That's not a diss to short guys, but the people that I usually gravitate towards dating are taller guys. Now, just like some other girls, the guys that they gravitate towards are shorter guys. You know, the guys that they gravitate towards have 8-packs. The guys that I might gravitate towards might be chubby. Like, everybody has that preference. It's not necessarily a dig to anybody. I personally think when your preference comes out of line or is a bit questionable or it does become shady, is when you have to back up your preference by degrading somebody else or degrading another group. For instance, there are a lot of guys who are out here like, oh, I only like going out with European women, or I only like going out with Latina women, or I only like going out with Asian women. And you ask them, oh, okay, cool, why is that? And their automatic response is, oh, it's because black women are this, black women are that, Your preference is justified by the degrading or the insulting of another group that is the opposite to your preference. Now, that's where I I have an issue. And I think that's where many people have an issue. If he doesn't like you because you're overweight, okay, maybe he just doesn't like a bit of, you know, a bit of a fuller woman, a bit of a curvier woman. That might just not be what he's attracted to. Now, if he told you, oh, well, I don't like you because you're big, because being big means that you're this, being big means that you're that, you're ugly, you're this, you're that because you are big. Sorry, no, not today. But if he's, you know, that's just not his type, that's just not his type. And I think we live in a world now where a lot of things get miscommunicated. Either you feel like you can't communicate your preference, or you do communicate your preference and you just don't know how to do it in the right manner. But one thing I will say is make sure that that natural attraction definitely is not because of a hatred or a degrading of somebody else or other people. That's where things go sickeningly wrong. You have a right to take some time to heal from that. It is a bit of a blow, but don't let it get you down too deep. You are beautiful. Like I keep repeating, you are beautiful the way that you are, because you should be happy. And your happiness is what makes you beautiful. Now, what you should do is get back out there and get onto that dating scene. If you are looking for somebody, then look for someone who will appreciate you for who you are right now and accepts that, yeah, you do want to change, or accepts that, no, you don't want to change. It's quite simple. I feel like with physical things, there are things where some people just have to take it or leave it. Now, things with character, for instance, if you're an angry person, oh, I'm just angry, you're gonna have to take it or leave it. Bye. Like, no, you're going to have to change that. You will have to change that in order to get further in life. Now, with physical things, there are some things which you cannot change. For instance, your height. Some people, for instance, their weight. Some people medically, they cannot lose weight, or they find it extremely difficult. That's something you also have to bear in mind. Or there are some people who cannot put on weight, and you know, you meet a guy who wants a girl who's thick, and you're just naturally a size 6, and you've been a size 6 since you were 10, and now you're 24. Do you know what I mean? What you're gonna do? Force yourself to put on weight. Don't feel like you have to conform to the generic standard of beauty so that you can have this bigger pool of guys to pick from. Do everything which makes you happy. If being the generic or the typical standard of beauty is what makes you happy, then do that. If you're naturally just a size, I don't know, 8, let's say a size 8 is popular, and you've got a thin waist and thick hips and nice breasts, like, if you fit into that, you fit into that. What can we do? But if you don't try and conform yourself and force yourself to fit into that box just because you feel like it will make people accept you. Because you will end up, yeah, you may end up having the guy of your dreams, but you'll end up sleeping next to him while you're crying because you hate yourself. So don't do that. Do not do that. Like, I want to encourage you to know that everything should be about your happiness. If this guy doesn't want to be with you, okay, like I said, let him go. Let him go and find whoever he wants to be with. Do not compare yourself to her either. Be you, be who you are. Take some time to fall in love with yourself. Take some time to, and sometimes falling in love with yourself means making a good plan, a strategic plan as to how you're going to change some aspects of yourself. But start knowing that, listen, your value, your worth, your beauty is not rooted in the words or the actions or the thoughts of somebody else about you. If anything, it's rooted in the way God sees you and the way you see yourself, which should line up. The both should line up. I really hope that this video helped you, and I'm really sorry that that happened to you. But girl, pick yourself up, get yourself together, get yourself feeling 100 again. 100, because you do not need anybody to complete you. Go out there and just be you, and just in the process of you loving yourself, somebody is going to cross your path who wants to love you just as hard. So yeah, please do comment down below your thoughts about like preferences and, I don't know, this particular situation. Maybe you can give our girl some advice. But yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.